We all use philosophy in our lives, even if we don't know it. Here are 8 of the greatest Western philosophies explained.
Stoicism. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength.
Stoicism is all about mastering your inner world. It teaches you to focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, and your response to situations. Everything else, let it go. You don't control traffic. You can't control other people's opinions, even about you. And you can't guarantee things will go the way you planned. But what you can control is how you respond, and that's where your real freedom lies. That doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means learning how to deal with emotions, how to process them, and then move forward, without letting them consume you. Some of the world's most successful companies use Stoic ideas to guide their operations, because they focus on performance, not just outcomes. It's about resilience, about not letting emotions take the wheel. So the next time you feel like your emotions are getting the better of you, breathe, slow down, look at the big picture, and only then respond to the situation. Because in that response, in that choice, that's where you take back control.
Existentialism. The meaning of life is to give life meaning.
At its core, existentialism says that life has no built-in meaning. There's no fixed destiny. You aren't born with a set role in this world. Instead, you create meaning through your choices, your actions. That's where life finds purpose. It can feel overwhelming because it means you have total responsibility for your life, no one to fall back on. But imagine how freeing that is. No set expectations, no predetermined path. Life is a blank canvas, and you get to paint on it with any color you choose. Existentialism says that feeling lost isn't a problem, it's an opportunity, a chance to create something meaningful. As someone once said, creativity blooms in anxiety. Art, business, innovation, they all come from that same freedom, even if it brings uncertainty with it. You don't have to wait for meaning to find you. You can build it, step by step, choice by choice. So the next time you feel lost or uncertain about your purpose, remember, existentialism reminds us that meaning isn't given, it's created. Find your freedom in the anxiety, because that anxiety, it might just lead you to something life-changing.
Absurdism. One must imagine Sisyphus happy.
Similar to existentialism, absurdism doesn't say life is meaningless and we should give up. It says, yes, life has no inherent meaning, but instead of despair, we rebel. We keep going. We keep moving forward. We continue to inspire, to create, and to live anyway. It's not about fixing the absurd. It's about learning how to live with it and how to conquer it. Think about it. We go to work. We fall in love. We work out. We set goals. We chase dreams. What's the point? We're all going to die anyways, right? Logically, it makes no sense. But absurdism says, do it anyway. Imagine pushing a boulder uphill every single day, knowing it will roll back down. Now imagine choosing to push it, not with anger, not with frustration, but with joy. That's the absurd life. So the next time you ask yourself, what's the point? Remember this, there might really not be one, but who cares? That doesn't mean you stop living. You create your own defiance. You find meaning in the doing, not the outcome. And sometimes, like Camus said, one must imagine Sisyphus happy.
Nihilism. God is dead and we have killed him.
Nothing matters. That's nihilism in its rawest form. No meaning, no higher purpose, no cosmic plan. Not the job you have, not your beliefs, not even you. None of this means anything. Everything we've built, the countries we live in, the religions we follow, the morals we defend, it's all made up. Useful, for sure, but still made up. And that's not a glitch in the system, that is the system. It sounds dark, right? If nothing matters, what's the point of living? But maybe that's precisely the point. If nothing matters, then you're free. Free from the pressure, free from the script, free from pretending, free from performing. You don't have to mold yourself to society's expectations anymore. And for once, you can actually ask yourself, honestly, if nothing matters, then what do I want to do with this time I have? So the next time everything feels empty, don't panic. You might be standing in a wide open space called life. It's quiet, sure, but it's yours, only yours. so live it the way you want. Make the decisions you choose. And maybe, just maybe, that's what makes it all worth it.
Determinism. Our wills are simply not of our own making.
Everything happens for a reason. It sounds comforting until you realize what it really means. Determinism says every choice you make was caused by something. We like to believe we have free will, that we're in control. But determinism asks, are we really choosing, or are we just following a script, one that was written for us, not by us? Think about it. Your genetics, your parents, your first heartbreak, the city you grew up in, the things you feared as a kid, all of them shaping the very fabric of your being before you had any understanding of their impact. You didn't choose your brain, you didn't choose your childhood, but those things influence every decision you make, even today. So, how free are you really? This isn't just theory. Neuroscience shows your brain often makes a decision milliseconds before you're aware of it. So if your brain is ahead of your consciousness, who's really in charge? Are you telling your brain what to do, or is it the other way around? Or maybe they're not separate at all. Maybe your brain and your consciousness are just two sides of the same machine. Determinism is a mirror. It forces you to confront a hard truth. You're a product, a reaction, a result, and everything you are today was caused by something you didn't control. But that doesn't mean you're doomed. It doesn't mean you're robotic. It just means everything has a cause, and if you understand the cause, you can change the effect. Know your patterns, know your triggers, know your trauma. That's how growth begins. That's how you break the chain. So next time you say, this is just how I am, stop, zoom out, trace it back, because it may not have been your fault, but it is your responsibility now.
Utilitarianism. The greatest happiness for the greatest number.
What if instead of asking what's right and what's wrong, we asked, what are the end results? What actions lead to the best outcomes for the most number of people? That's the question utilitarianism asks. It's not about individual gain, it's about total impact. What can we do to benefit the largest number of people? If lying saves a life, it might be the right thing to do. If one person suffers but 100 benefit, utilitarians would call that a moral trade-off. It's the kind of logic that can shape entire governments, laws, policies, public health decisions. They all can be made to follow this ideology. Build a dam, displace a few, but power millions, impose lockdowns, hurt small businesses, but save lives. It seems logical, efficient even, but here's the catch. Who decides what the greater good is? It's easy to twist that idea to benefit the few, and that's why utilitarianism often forms the backbone of dystopian governments, in fiction and in real life. When a state says this is for everyone's benefit, it can be used to silence dissent, to remove backlash, to control freedom. So yes, utilitarianism tries to maximize happiness, but the real question is, who gets to decide that happiness, and at what cost? So the next time you hear someone justify harm for the greater good, ask yourself, is it really helping the most people, or is it just helping those in power? Because doing what helps the most should never come at the cost of the few.
Hedonism. Pleasure is the beginning and the end of a happy life.
Hedonism asks a simple question: what brings you joy, and what should you do to achieve it? It's the belief that pleasure, not pain, not sacrifice, not duty, is the highest good. It's often misunderstood as indulgence, short-term thrills, or you only live once mindset. But that's not what true hedonists believe. Real hedonism is about long-term happiness. It's not about getting drunk or chasing highs, it's about peace of mind, freedom from anxiety, and emotional clarity. It's not about running from life, it's about building one that actually feels good. True hedonism urges you to find the kind of pleasure that comes from a calm life, not a wild one. It talks about traveling, not getting wasted, working on a hobby, not smoking a joint. Epicurus even said, not what we have but what we enjoy constitutes our abundance. It's not about material wealth or status, it's about enjoying the life you already have. That could mean time with loved ones, meditation, exercise, anything that gives you sustained joy. In modern life, we chase money, approval, status, but rarely stop to ask, will achieving this actually make me happy? Hedonism challenges that. It says, build your life around what brings you real, lasting joy. And if something only brings stress, guilt, or pain, why keep doing it? It's not about being lazy, but it's about having clarity on what is worth building towards. But here's the thing, Real hedonism takes effort. It's very easy to chalk it up to finding the quickest pleasures, but in actuality, you have to figure out which pleasures are real and which just leave you feeling empty. So the next time you feel overwhelmed chasing 100 things, pause. Ask, what actually brings me joy? Because a life filled with real happiness might just feel better than one filled with quiet suffering.
Transcendentalism. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us.
Transcendentalism is less of a philosophy and more of a way of living life. It says, the truth you're searching for, it's not in books, not in systems, not in rules, it's already present inside you. Transcendentalism teaches us that the deepest truths don't always have to be logical. Maybe truth is that feeling you get walking through nature, soaking in sunlight, listening to birds, hearing the leaves rustle. Maybe it's the reminder that we're not separate from the world. We are part of it. The trees, the sky, the silence, all of it reflects our inner self if we're willing to listen, connecting with nature, becoming calm like water, strong like a tree. These are the pillars of this way of living. It tells you, you don't have to work to become whole. You already are. You just need to realize it. In a world where we're constantly pushed to achieve, prove, compare, Transcendentalism invites you to step back. Go for a walk. Put your phone away. Notice the sky. Let nature inspire you, not your algorithm. It's not about running from responsibility. It's about grounding yourself in what's real and understanding that what you feel actually matters. So when you feel overwhelmed or lost in the noise, Transcendentalism reminds you, you don't need to be more. You don't need to do more. You don't need to know more. You just need to listen to yourself, to the world, and to the quiet things that are always speaking. We just walked through 8 philosophies. You don't need to agree with every philosophy, but if even one of these ideas stuck with you, if it made you pause, reflect, or see the world a little differently, that's the whole point. Follow for more.